Is it rolling? Is it rolling?
Yes.
Alright, welcome back to SculptSpace. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys the clays that I use and just testing them out, show you everything about them. So, artists out there, young artists or amateur artists that want to get into clay or sculpting, they can have a sort of a background of these three fairly popular materials and learning about this medium. So the first one we're going to go over is monster clay, which is all that I've been using so far on my channel. I'll tell you about this. You already know a lot about it, but we'll play around with it. I'll show you some cool things about it. Then after that, we're going to move on to Super Sculpey. I like this stuff a lot. I've been using more of it. One, because it's cheaper. And two, it's just nice to paint on, and it's less effort. But you need to know how to use this and how to really cure this. So we'll go over that. And last, but not least, this stuff is really good. Magiscope. A lot of big names use this stuff. It's not a clay or anything like that. It's actually an epoxy. It's a two-part epoxy. So I'll show you how to use that and safety procedures for that. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Voiceovers, so don't say anything racist. Okay? I know how you are. So the first material that we're going to go over in this video is going to be monster clay. This is the stuff that I've been using on my channel the entire time. This stuff is really just very versatile. And what this stuff really is for is making molds. This isn't really something you paint over. I wouldn't try to paint over this. It's not long lasting because to make it malleable you just put it in the microwave. Heat is what makes it sort of melt, and so you can reform it. So I made the mistake of buying two of these, not realizing that I could just reuse all the clay over and over again. So one should be enough for artists starting out. This stuff goes for about $20 to $30 on Amazon. They also, Monster Clay, have their own website, the Monster Makers. I'll put the links in the description where you can find this stuff. Probably put the Amazon links for you guys. But so yeah, this clay is just nice if you're into mold making or you want to get into it. Mask making, little figurines and stuff like that. If you are into silicone and stuff like that. The downside to using this stuff is you're going to need to make a mold out of it. So you're going to need extra materials like silicone and resin and all that safety stuff that goes along with it, and gloves. So if you don't mind spending a little extra money for the silicone and the resin, you can try this stuff out. Or if you just want to sculpt with it, just make a sculpture that you don't want to paint, maybe just for modeling, get the dimensions down for something. This is perfect for that. So yeah, this clay is super easy to use. It's easy to take off something and reapply something else. It's really easy to work on detail with your tools and stuff. It's just a nice all-around clay. Not super expensive, and yeah, so if you want to get into mold making or stuff like that, and you don't mind that you can't paint over this clay, then this stuff might be for you. But if you don't want to get into that, I have 2 other options that I'm about to go over. So stay tuned. Alright, so these are some of the products that I have made from the monster clay. Obviously these are just from the molds and the resin, but this is the stuff I sculpted out of it. As you can see, you get a good amount of detail from it, and you can really work with it to get all this tiny wood grain sort of textures down here. And these drips are super nice to get since it's a wax base. It's easy to get these drips, or just to get a nice little cute figure here. The painting on these are super easy. And they always turn out super well and vibrant. So yeah, this is what you can make if you put in the time for the different materials you need and all the tools you're gonna need for it. So yeah. Alright, so the next sculpting material we're gonna go over is Super Sculpey Original. It's an oven baked clay. It's a polymer clay. This stuff is really good if you want a semi-permanent sculpture that you can paint on. This is about, I guess, the in-between monster clay and Magiscope. This stuff is good, but it can be fairly brittle after you bake it. It might crack. There are certain things that can go wrong in the process of it. But normally, whenever you're using this stuff, it's fairly reasonable. And it's only about $17, I think, for this brick. So I made a whole sculpture earlier this week. I still have about this much left, so that's, I'd say that's pretty good for the price. $17. You can find it on Amazon once again. It'll be in the description, or you can find it at your Michaels or your AC Moore or other craft shop. I'm sure you can find this anywhere. But for this one, this sort of clay, you need an armature for it. So maybe I'll go over that in another video, how to make an armature, measuring it out, cutting, finding your certain lengths that you want. But you will need an armature. I normally use aluminum wire, also some bamboo skewers at some points, and tinfoil. Tinfoil is super light, so when you put the clay on there, it's not really going to weigh anything down. So if you want to, find out how to use this stuff, or if you just want to get into sort of intermediate sort of sculpting, this is a perfect option for you. You can paint on it once it's done baking, but once you've painted it, I would not put it back into the oven because it'll, the colors will get all mixed up and all that. And I'm actually going to show you one of my sculptures that I did with this stuff. So yeah. Go ahead. So this is Pennywise the Clown. I made this out of Sculpey about a year ago. I think it turned out pretty good. Put them on a stand, made a stand. And here's where you can see some of the imperfections of it. If you want to come here. Alright, so you can see how this sort of just broke off. I don't remember when, but a while ago. You can see it's starting to crack around here, and come to the back here. See cracks in there. This whole piece came off. I had to glue it back on. So yeah, you just have to worry about stuff like that messing up. I'm sure I could have been doing something wrong. That's totally possible, because it was a whole year ago when I just started getting into clay. So yeah, just be careful using that stuff. So yeah, just be careful using Super Sculpey or any of the Sculpey line of stuff. It's really good starting out for sure. You can get it pretty cheap, and it really just teaches you, how to make armatures and how to bake clay. So yeah, I would say it's a pretty good place to start. So let's move on to the next. Alright, so this next stuff is the Magiscope Epoxy. This stuff, most big artists use it. It's just super durable. It hardens like a rock, and you get a lot of detail from it. It's just a little harder to use, I found, in my opinion. And when I was using it, I also had 2 allergic reactions to it. So you gotta be real careful when using it. Didn't read any directions. I'm a bad boy, so I just do what I want. And I faced the consequences because I had an allergic reaction to my eyes. Couldn't see it for about a couple weeks, twice. So be really careful with these. These gloves are too small. I'm gonna get some bigger gloves for this. Anyways, these are cheap gloves. Oh, so tight. Anyways, but yeah, this stuff is really nice. It's an epoxy, so it's a part A mixed with a part B, sort of like the resins we use, or the silicone. That is smelling. That smells real bad. A well ventilated area. So, wow, those are fumes.
Open the door.
Open the door. This stuff isn't too expensive, I wouldn't say. I would say for this, 5 pounds was about $25, $30. So it's not like you're breaking the bank, and you're really doing yourself a good service, because this stuff is just super nice to use. Super, not easy, but super durable. You're gonna like the finish of it, and you can paint on it, obviously. Okay, so how you want to use this stuff is you want to use equal parts of A and B. This is just the clay stuff. This is a hardener that makes an epoxy when you put it together. You're going to make out 2 balls. Boom. Roughly the same size. So that's pretty good. And you just want to mix them together. So I've been told that the mixing process of epoxy is what makes it toxic. But after you're done with it, you don't really need gloves. I still wear them because of past experiences. But if you feel bold enough to just go for it, more power to you. But I wouldn't recommend it. And if you do, be outside or be in a super well ventilated place. Wear a mask maybe, so you don't get the fumes in you. Goggles too. And really you're just mixing this up super well. And then to really make it into whatever you want, mixes up fairly fast. You just want it to be one consistent color. Looks like we got that. And the way to really sculpt into this is you want to use water. Water is what makes it smooth. So I'm going to go grab some water right quick, and I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
You see there's like little cracks and crevices and stuff. So you just want to get a little bit of water, put it on there. Sort of just smooths that all out. I don't know why, I couldn't tell you, but that is how you use this stuff. It reacts well with water to smooth it out. And this top side right here is going to be super smooth whenever it dries. And actually I use this stuff for other jobs, like handiwork. This stuff is super durable. I used it to fix a microwave, so it's very versatile. And also when you're sculpting, I would say if you have your tools, you want to make some detail, you might have some ripping in it like that. It might come off weird and not super smooth. Just dip your tool in a little bit of water, and when you go in there, it'll make that a lot smoother. I'll show you over here. Make any sort of divots in there. It's gonna make it a lot smoother than if your utensil was dry. So the gimmick to this is it's an epoxy, so be very careful with it. But it is going to last pretty much forever. It's like as hard as a rock when it dries. Wait about 24 hours, it air dries. I would recommend this if you're looking into more permanent sort of options. If you want to go in head first into more of the difficult stuff, I would recommend still making armatures for this stuff. Maybe some foam if you're making bigger projects is really good, because the stuff can get pretty heavy, like a rock. So be careful with that. I'll leave the link in the description. You can buy this on Amazon. 1 pound, 5 pounds, up to 20 pounds pails. So if you're looking for that, it's a nice option for you. And I'll show you some of my, really just one of the things that I've made with it so far. Anyways. So this is the only thing I really have from it, because like I said, I had an allergic reaction. I've been kind of scared of it. So it's just a Venus flytrap sort of thing from a Coke bottle. And like I said, this stuff is real durable. I had no problem shaking it, knocking on it. I know it's not going to break at any point. So yeah, I have no problem just handling it like I would anything else. But the Sculpey stuff, I could not do all that with, because it's not very durable. It's going to crack. So yeah, this stuff is very durable. Love this stuff. Just be very careful when using it. You see the paint goes on super well, super nice. Nice vibrant colors. It doesn't tone anything down. Obviously these are not made out of clay. These are just toothpicks, and this is super glue, or what's it called? Hot glue. So yeah, just make sure it does take 24 hours to cure, so if you want to get something out very quickly, this is not what you want to use to do it with, but this will last you longer than anything else. So yeah, I'll put the links in the description of where you can buy this stuff and really use this stuff. This is what I prefer. Out of all three, I would prefer to use this one. And maybe I'll do a video going over all three of them, seeing which one's easiest to use, because I haven't really done them all together super quickly to find out what the best option is. So maybe that'll be a video in the future.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. So
I've showed you guys how to use each one of these: Monster Clay, Sculpey, and Magiscope. I went over the pros and cons of all of them, the price range. So I hope this video helped young artists or amateur artists who want to get into sculpting. I hope it helped you guys pick what would be better for you price-wise, learning more about it, getting more into it, what will last you the longest. I hope I helped you with that, and I hope to be doing more videos comparing more clays, maybe. Do some sculptures with all of them, compare those, how they turned out, because this is over a year, this is over a year, these are very recent. So maybe get a more accurate depiction of all of them in the same time frame. Probably be better. And I hope to bring you more videos like that, and more just sculpting videos in general. Maybe go over some tools that I use, different materials I use for each one. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys like, comment, you can subscribe, share, do all that jazz. If you guys liked it, you found it informative, or just found relaxing, you'd like to watch it, you like my voice, haha, you guys can stick around. I'll have more videos out for you guys. So see you guys next time.